buddy. This is D&D Paladin for the D&D basement. Not gonna do the same mistake twice. We're gonna test the microphone. Alright, so the microphone does work. Should be working when we'll be switching over. Right now, it's gonna be the... We're gonna draw still. We're still gonna draw. We started yesterday as we did a character. That we wanted. Called Zekarath. And right now it doesn't look like anything much. It's still coming up, but it doesn't look like much. And I told you that highlights and shadows were gonna do something to it. And today we're gonna prove it, because we're going to do some shadows and highlighting. Now I still need to actually open up the drawing again, where we were. Here. Alright. So we'll go back from there, and from what we have done up to this point, I have cleaned up a bit the drawing, but that's pretty much all I did. And we're gonna do, and I'll show you how to do the rest, everything we need to do. I'll also tell you that we need to regroup things in groups, because we have a lot of layers at this point. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But now we need some details, and for that we need shadows and we need highlights. So let's go to the already done thing. Let's go here, making sure that the sound still works. Yes, it does. So here we are. This is what we ended up with last time. And right now we don't need the palette anymore, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm not really happy about the horns and the hand, because they're entirely black, and black is the absence of color, and white is all the colors. So what does this means? It means that if we want shadows on the hand and horns, we can't. We just cannot have that, because it's entirely black. So we can't have more shadows than that. And then when it comes to highlights, we cannot highlight them either, because it's absence of light. So here the problem is that things in real life, or in life in general, when it comes to colors, never are true black. The same thing is true for white. There is nothing that is true white. There is always something else that affects it. So now how are we going to modify that or do things with that is beyond me. Now I have to redo the claws. The claws are gonna be black. I really want that to be. And I really wish that we could put the horns and hands and everything as black, but we just can't. So what we're gonna do is, first we're gonna go into our layers here, and we're gonna change a few things here. First off, character color base and sketch we can leave alone. Clothings and socks and earrings, all of that can go into the same folder. So we're gonna select all of them, holding Control or Shift, and then we're going to go Layer, New, Group from Layers, and I'm just gonna call that Clothing. So now I have everything in my clothing. So that's pretty much it. Eye glare is going to be in its own group, and it's going to be into the highlights group, into the highlight group. this is gonna be important to have a highlight group, and it's over everything. Shadows and highlights are going to be above everything. Alright, so what we're gonna do now that we did that, so we have two groups now, clothing and highlights. Clothing is pretty much done. We don't need to do more than that, so that's about it. We're going to go back to color base for the character, and this is the one thing that I think we need to rework again, so I'm just gonna delete that. We're gonna duplicate the sketch layer again and call it character color base. And again, we're going to put that below here. So now we're back to where we started, and that is that we need an actual color base. So bringing back our palette, what we need is to actually do the body. So yeah, if we remove all the clothing, this is what we have, and this is what we need to do stuff with. So here we go. Now there are a few things we know about the character that we don't want to touch more than that, and this is pretty much what we want. The skin is pink, but I think I'd like a bit more reddish pink. So we're gonna just do this. Apply. That's not in the right place. I need the palette. And here we go. So I'll try that. If it doesn't work, then so be it, but yeah. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. We'll see with the clothing. Yeah, with the shadows and everything, it'll look like more of that. But yeah, it's supposed to be a bit. Yeah, I think that's not enough. That's definitely not enough. But the other one is definitely too much. So that one is too much, and that one is not enough. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go in the middle. This should be fine. Alright. Oh, wrong place. It's not in the color palette that we need to do that. The sketch is also locked. This is what we want to do. Yeah, that's fine with me. That's better. That's better. Alright, now we need to go for what we need, and right now we need to do the claws on that hand. The claws on that hand, we need to do this red one here. And now we're gonna, for the hand and the hair and the horns, we're gonna change the color a bit. We're gonna make some gradient for it. So right now in our color palette, still, we're gonna go back and do that. We have our black, we'll have our bit more gray, and we're gonna go a bit lower than that again, like this. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When it comes to lighting, the more light you have, the more colorful you see. So the real color is always what you see. So when you see black, it's the absence of color. So black should not be showing at all. Like if I want to do a black marble, it would be a circle and it would just look like that. No color reflection or anything. Now if I was going, say, like this and just adding a bit, like do what everyone does, and that's adding some shading over here like this, and say I want to apply, let's just say we'll take this part and say we want to apply a filter just to make sure it blends in. Actually what we want would be to take only this part, blur it, and say we want to blur it like this. Now one would say, yes, it's not black, the highlight, the light makes it less black, but that's the problem. This is not supposed to happen, because light doesn't uncolor things. Black should stay black. That's what it is, black. So now you cannot do any highlights, and you cannot do any shadows either, because shadows are black, are going to dark to black. So basically you're stuck with just this. You're stuck with just this. There is no depth, there is no shadows, there is no nothing. In order to have depth, to have colors and everything, you need things to go from one color to black. So that's why Black Panthers are not really black. They're kind of bluish. If they're in cold light, they're like bluish dark, or if they're in sunlight, they are more like dark orange or things like that. A good example of that would be that most of their fur is not all black. Some of them are a bit grayer, and this is what makes depth. You think it is black, but in reality it's not. That's why it looks that way. And this is something that I had to learn, because black and white are the hardest colors to work with. So every time someone says, yeah, black is the greatest color, tell yourself that black is not even a color. It's the absence of color. It looks cool, I agree with you, but if you do it the right way, it would not look cool. It would not even look like what it used. And people, to make things look cool, needs to just stop using black and white. They need to start using real colors to make them pop. And this is what we're gonna do. So now we're gonna just reapply everything, because I just wanted to see something. Alright, the eye needs to be recolored as well. The glare is still there, so it's fine for the highlight. But now we need to recolor everything. Well, so we have our black, because obviously we want black because of our horns and everything. And I don't care if my claws do not have any depth in them. I'm fine with it. But now we need to go for a less darker color to actually do our stuff. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna use this, and this gray color right here is going to be our black. That is going to be our black base, which will help us create better shadows and highlights. Now this also helps me do something that I did wrong in the first place, and that was doing the hair coloring at the bottom, which should have been on its own layer, not directly on the color base, which it was, and I did not like that. Sorry, wrong button. Alright, we still need that. Take that. Go back to the color base. Even the horns needs to be colored in gray. Alright. I'm gonna get closer so we can actually get everything. Alright. You see, right now there is no depth, so the horn here doesn't look like much. But with depth, you'll see that it's going to be in front of the hair. Now, for the eye, we want true black. For the eye pupils, the pupil, and we want our red, which we already have within the finger, but we want our red for the eye. That's one way to do it. No, that's not at all. That's way too much, so yeah, this is better. So we're just gonna fill the eye like this. Don't care if I'm going a bit overboard, because it's easy to fix later on. Like this. Alright. Now we want to put black back for that eye, for that pupil. Like this. Alright. Now, as I said before, the eye should have its own stuff, should have its own thing. But I was doing that in the character, and I don't want that to be. I'll create another layer just for the eye. And it's gonna be the eyeball color. It's gonna be over the color base. And one fine point is right now we don't have colored the eyes, because right now we're on a black background, and I don't want that either. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go white and just paint our white over that here. Whoa! I'm in the wrong place. Color base. Still color base. Alright. So now, as you can see, our white background is not part of the eye. So that's done for that. Now the eye color, we're just gonna redo everything we've done in the first place. So yeah, and I'm going back down to 10%. And we need red. So yeah, we're gonna do these this way, like this, and it's gonna look like there's veins in the eye. That's much better because the eyes should not be. And now when we're gonna do, and that's gonna be it. Now when we're gonna do our shadows and the likes, it's gonna be much better. Now let's go finish those hair colors. So what are we gonna do here? We're gonna put together the color base together. Yeah, this way we have that. The sketch is above them, evidently. Alright. Oh, I had forgotten the mouth as well. Like, there is... the mouth needs to be filled as well. Well, just like the eye, I could just like the eye, I could do something, but no. We're gonna do the we need to go back to the mouth and redo our stuff. Alright, so here her teeth are white for now. They won't be long because of our shadows, but for now they are. And her mouth, while it should be red, would be darker red. But in this case, it needs to be entirely red. Alright. Now we're back to where we started. And we're ready to go for everything else. Nope, we're not. The hand. I was going to forget about that one. And again, what we need is our gray coloring. And we need to be so big. No, we don't need 10%, we need full on 100%. And I don't like the fact that our hand, it was supposed to be going to, it was supposed to be just this part. But I'm thinking we're going to go all this way now. So we're going to go all this way. That's gonna be better for me. Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back down and redo this thing. Now we need to go for that, and what we're gonna do is just leave some mark here, some groove. Go back there, just do that. Add some more groove to it. We just don't want it to be entirely weird. Yeah, I think that's much better. Anyway, it's going to be, even that color base is going to be blurred at some point. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Maybe we need a bit more. 5 was not that big. I prefer like this. Yeah, I prefer like this. It's a bit, it looks a bit better. And now, just like we did the first time, and we're gonna zoom in just for that, we're gonna make some dent into it. but maybe not at 19. Let's just say 10 should be enough. Maybe just a bit like this. Just, it was fine the first time, which is not too bad. This one just looks weird, so we're gonna go back on that one because it just looks weird right now. So what we're gonna do, we're going back to 1 and just say like this. This would be 1. This would be another one. This another one. Like this. And then like this. Like this. Maybe like this. Just leaving some trail here and there. Like this. And now we're gonna just check if it looks like something. Yeah, it just looks weird. It just looks weird, so why? I really like the original one, but sometimes I just can't do it back, and that's something. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go back to 5 and just do the like I did the first time, just like this, like this. Just 1 or 2 like that. Sometimes just go back, just unch it in like this. You know, so it looks like something weird happening. Yeah, that should be fine. Maybe just a smaller one here. Yeah, that's much better than what I had, but with the shadows and highlights, it's gonna be better anyway. Alright. Now, sorry, I need to be more specific on what I'm doing. Alright. Forgot to post my Twitter account, my Twitter for the Indie Basement. I really need something where I just click a button and it just sends to Twitter. I wonder if there are Twitter apps other that works like post to Twitter when you're not on Twitter. That would be great. Alright. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna create some highlight and shadows. But first off, we're gonna just lock everything down. So we already have highlights, but I like to start with shadows first. So we're gonna create a new group, so layer a new group, and we're gonna call it shadows. In that shadow, we're gonna create 3 layers called shadows dark or shadows 3. But in this case, I'll go with dark. It's a shadow dark. Like this is the darkest layer. Now I have shadows med for medium, and I will have shadows low for low shadows. So we're going from low to mid, from low to dark, darker shadows. So here's the thing. When it comes to details about a character, the more layers of shadows and highlights you have, the more details will pop out. So what happens here is that if you're going with only one shadow layer, then there is not much you can do with it. You can do a lot in one shadow layer, but it needs to be all type of shadows. What I'm doing is I'm gonna do more shadow layers, and the more I want it to be, the more shadows it will be. Like, the goal here is working with opacity, and you need to know that each opacity just goes above each other's. So let's say I have a 50 opacity on shadows low, and then go for 50 opacity on shadows med. I'll end up with about a medium one that is more dark, that is darker. So what I want to do is that all my shadows will be like 50%, and they will all stack together. So that's why the dark shadows are at the bottom. They are the one I work with first, and I just do my darkness for it. What I usually do, since they are multiplied, again, shadows are multiplied, so we'll choose each layer and just multiply them. So again, white will not show up. White will not show up, but black will. So the darker our shadows, the better it is. So now I need something. I need my model. And my model, I'll put it above, because I need my models and it needs to be above everything. Now my model itself is 50% already, but now I need it to be 100%, because I'm using that model to know where my highlights are. And as an example, we'll go for the highlights on the hand. So we're gonna go here on the hand, and as you can see, I took this anime approach because it gives me clear definition of shadows. Like, we have true white, which is full color. We have shadow, a bit less shadowed ones, and then we have a bit more shadows, and then we have darkness, because there is no light. So what we're gonna do is that in black, everything that's black will become black, because that's where the light doesn't come from. So again, we're gonna draw, and to make sure we're not drawing over or anything, we're just gonna do this. So we're going to dark, and we're gonna draw black. Another thing you could do, instead of going the road that I have gone with multiply and everything, you can just do what I do, is that you can also just change the coloring. Like, you put it to normal and just do color by color instead. But I think I like the fact that in multiply it just does what it needs to be done. So I'm gonna go with the darker shadows right here, right now. Alright, so right here we need to do this. Doesn't matter if I'm not exactly the same, but I'm doing that. Now, if you want to be able to just see where you're going or where you're at, you can just diminish the opacity a bit. No need to diminish the opacity a lot. You can just do it like 75%. That way you still see where you're going with your darkness of your work, and you still go for other things. Another way you could do something like this, and this is exactly what we're gonna do. So for this, I just remembered that. Been a while since I've done this, so we're gonna just remove the shadows here that we did. Alright, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our model, just put it in top, and using our model we're gonna use the magic wand tool, which is W, but you can click the small arrows, or the small arrow here means that we can just hold it and use the magic wand. And now if we click on the black, we get only the black. But here's the thing, I don't want it to be contiguous, so I'm gonna remove the contiguous, and it will take the entirety of that pixel from the model. So here we go, we have our model entirely selected, and everything that should be black is black. Now you'll notice that there are still things that are not blacked out, so what we're gonna do is just click on them and just add more colors to it. Now there are things we don't want to touch, but for now we'll go for that. Now we click on our, we don't need the model anymore. What we need is just to click on our, is just to click and just select. So now we have our things, we don't need it to be contiguous. What we need to do is just click on it, and this is it. This is our shadows have started. We already have something. Of course, some other things will come into play and we might need to tweak that, but for now this is it. Now we're gonna go back to our other one, and we're gonna go back and we're gonna go to the second one. So what we want here, okay, the tolerance is not fine, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove our shadows for now, and we're also gonna remove that. Tolerance will go to 100%, I think. Nope, because it takes way too much, so we're gonna go 50. Yeah, that's fine. That's everything we needed. It took everything. Alright. So now we have, from our model, we have the shadows that we need. Now there is one thing I do not like of that, and that's gonna be me Control Alt click to remove something. Nah, that's the other way around. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright. We're gonna select our model first, and then in the selection, nah, I added something I shouldn't have. Anyway, let's go for the base. Sorry, it's been a while since I used this technique. We're gonna take the shadows right here and just draw them directly onto our model. And if anything goes Beyond that, we can just take our color base and everything else and just remove what doesn't need to be there. So now this is what we have. We need black because this is the entirety of our black, and we're gonna just click on that. Alright, so this is it. Now you'll tell yourself that that this does not look like hard shadows, they're like way too hard. We'll deal with that later. As I said, you can just go for multiply, but if you put it in black, it just won't multiply, it will just stay black. So what we usually do is I'm going a bit less. You see, I play with opacity. But before I do that, I need to know the rest. So I'll do everything like this. Now we need... No. I need this part. So this part will be our medium color, and our medium color is here. Sorry, I made a small mistake. I'll take that back. And now what we need is this, and we click on it, but not on that one as medium. Now here my colors are way too dark. Usually I would not go for that, and you also need to know that since our robe is red, we need red, tones of red instead. And this is why I told you that we will fix it later. But there are things we could do for other things. Now we're gonna do the rest, which is magic wand, and we're gonna take the rest here, which is way too much again, because what I want is just a certain part, like the gray part here. So 50 is way too much. We're gonna go down to 25, which gives us exactly what we want. So we're gonna go back to the shadows, the low shadows, take that, and now we can just ping it. Alright. Nights look really weird like this right now, because there are things that did not work our way. So that's one way I used to do it, but I usually, like, let's say I wanted just the arm, so I would literally just pick the arm like this and just do that for that arm. But this is one way to do it. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do, because it sucks right now. So what I'm gonna do is, sorry, that's not what I meant to do. What we're gonna do is just erase all that, and we're gonna go for it manually, which is gonna be way faster for me. Alright. Because there are stuff we don't want, so yeah. So from our palette, we still need that, but from our palette, we'll just complete it. So that's for the arm. That's gonna be for the arm. What I need right now is to go here and start doing some shadows for the red. So we're gonna go back to our color palette, unlock it, and create some different shadows, shadow tints. And remember, we have 3 layers of shadows to do, so we need we need a bunch of these. So here, we're gonna do that down here, put it there. That's 1. That's 2. And that's gonna be 3. That's just for the red of our robe. Now I need to be able to do the same thing because we will want the gems here to also have some kind of shadows. It's gonna be barely minimum, but that's something we want. But for now, this is it. We don't need more than that for now. Yeah. So for now, we go with that. So again, let's go with some shadows. Here's another technique that I've been using for quite some time, but it's not something I really like. So what I'll show you something else. But right now, this is not something I like to do, but this is something I did for a while, and that is playing with the opacity of your marker. Let's say we go with 10%. So let's say I want to shadow this part, and it's like this, and then this, and then this, and I can just do it. Of course, it doesn't show right now because the palette is over it, but the thing is, the more I do, see, you can just work like this. As you can see, I'm trying to make some shadows, and it just works like this. But this is not something I really like, because you often get shadows that does not make sense, because every time you click at a place where there's already shadow, it just adds more. So I don't like that. I prefer to work by stages. So instead of doing just that, we're gonna go back to 100%. We're gonna click on our colors, control click to make sure we don't go beyond what we need. Reactivating that. The model, we're gonna set it to 75, and then we're gonna lock it, and then go to our shadows. I'm gonna lock every other panel as well, so I don't go overboard. This is too big. This is still too big. Alright, that's fine. So I'm gonna just add my shadows right here, like this. And this is our black. Oh, no. No, this is not black at all. Yes, it is. It should not be like that. I want black. Color palette. Yeah, black. So again, shadows. And we're gonna do our shadows like this. Like, this is entirely black. This is really dark shadows. Now we need the fingers. If you want to know where you're at, you can just remove that. And as you can see, there are stuff that I did not do well. Alright. I'm gonna go and just add here. Now, here there is also some shadows. Same for the darker part here of the arm. Now I'm not gonna do these. For now I'm going to do just the arm. So yeah, just the arm. this right here. We need this place around the fingers. Again, around the fingers. And you will see it will already pop. You'll see that the hand already pops from where it will be. Alright, let's see where we're at. Alright, so I need to just fill this place. Alright. Already the hand will start to pop, and already we will see what it will look like. Now, our hand is black, so again it's gonna be hard, because in reality it won't be black, it will be gray. But yeah, that's our dark. Now we want less dark. Yeah, so we want less dark, so we're gonna go to our medium, just reactivate it again. Just reactivate that. We can remove our black so we can see, but for now we can also activate it. So we know this is going to be there. Of course, I need to be placing my stuff around. So what I'm gonna do right now is just do around my shadows like this. So later on what I can just do is just click the bucket and do it. So yeah, the arm, this is the entirety of it. We need to do this and this, and there you go. Now you need to know that I will blur all of this so it just sticks together. So for now that's about that. We also need to go around this part and this part. Which we need to do something else after that, but right now this is about that. So what we can do is just do this. Of course, I again forgot the contiguous, which is important. The contiguous mean it takes all the way up to the next color. If you don't do that, it will just fill every pixel that needs that. So it might be just the entire picture. That's not what we want. So right now that's it. So if I remove that, you already see that I have fucked up. Yeah, I have fucked up. Because the program right now sees both colors as the same thing. So yeah, these two are looked at the same thing, and I don't want that to be, so I'll need to go a different road. Alright, let's do the hand. they're in multiply, so they just add to each other's. Alright, that's not gonna work for the add. So yeah, we're gonna set them to normal. The multiply is not gonna work. Here's the thing, in multiply what you want is not go for dark, and as an example I'll show you an example. Let's just say that I'm putting everything in multiply here, and then we'll go to the robe for something that makes sense, like say here on the side. Wrong thing again. That's not what I asked you. I asked you to zoom. Alright. So say we want to do the thing. We can just take the color here and just color over it. So say that's one thing, because you go in multiply. So now, because we're in multiply, it will multiply what's in it. But because red is on red, it will not show. So one way to do that is, instead of picking red, we're picking a little more than red. And we're gonna do this. So now, if I remove that, you can already see this is a light version of it. Now, if I want, that's because it's in the low. But now, let's just say I want to create another one. Here you go. I did not change color at all. And you can already see what I mean. Now I'm going to the dark one. And again, you can already see that I've done everything on the 3, and I did not change color at all. This is because the way multiply works is that it multiplies towards dark. So if you take a full color like red and then just add more and more, it will go for it. So if I say, let's just do let's say I'm going like this. I'll go back here and I just do this, just for the sake of purpose, and then do this, and then do this. You can already see. But now if I add more layers, and that's why I told you more layers is better, and I just do shadow 4, which will be below, and then shadow 5, which will be below again, below 4. Now if I put some red here, the same red I did not change, and I put again, here we go, it becomes darker and darker and darker until it reached the point where it just cannot go beyond that, like here. So we know that 4 is what we need. At this point, if we want more, we need to change again, and now it should work. No, it's weird. Just give me a sec. Something's wrong. Oh, yeah, they're all in multiply except for my new shadows. They all need to be in multiply mode. Now you will see the difference. and I did not change. I'm still in this color. So now you see, and then again it changes. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different type of colors, and it's going like that. It's just going and going and going. So if you need 10 shadows like this, you go for 10. But this is not what we're gonna. This is what we're gonna do. And for now, I'm just gonna delete all shadows that I've made. Alright. So again, we don't need 4 and 5 because I'm going to go with only 3. And that means that I cannot stick with the same color. I need to go darker by myself. But here the black again is hard to do, and so is white. So yeah, we have all the black here that we need. What I'm gonna do now is just pick it to what the other side needs, and that's using the lasso tool for me. So I need to use that to do that, that. Take a bit of it here, and that, go down here, take that, and I just literally just do this. And now if I need to add, it is Shift, and if I need to remove, it will be Alt. So now I pick Shift and just add more, like this one here, and this one here. And I don't care if it's not exactly identical to what it should be. There's a reason for that I will not disclose, but yeah. Because the thing is, right now, even if it's not identical to what we want, the fact is it's going to be blurred later on, so it will not show off. Now I'll remove that and this. I still need to remove that much, and here. Alright. So now that I have that, I can just pick whip my stuff. Now I'll go with this one and do that. Let's just see what it looks like. Oh, I'm in dark, and I did not meant to do that in the dark. In the dark version of it. Should have been in the medium one. But again, they're multiply, and it's really hard to do that, so again I need to go to something else. Yeah, black is really hard to work with. Black is really hard to work with. What are we gonna do about that? I think we'll go for something really white. Yeah, that should work. Alright. So, let's go back. I'll just remove what I did for the shadows, the test. I don't know if I can go that far. Alright. I don't think I can go back that far, but that's gonna be it. Alright. So right now I'm gonna do the pick whip that I did with the wand. Instead of going, I can just go for it like this. Still, this is the same thing. I'm gonna check something though. Okay, that's already done. I don't need it to be done. I don't think it goes either way. So I'm gonna remove it. What we're gonna do is pick whip the color of the arm. And I think that's what we're gonna do every time we need the color of the arm, the color of the skin, and everything, and just go for the darkness. Because they're already in multiply, so that's gonna be fine. And you already see why it takes me a lot of hours to do my stuff. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I always do. I always forget everything I learned, and it just takes me a long time. We haven't even started on the shadows yet. We have, but yeah. So here we're gonna go back to that. I'm gonna pick my lasso tool again. And what I need right now is this, this, this part, and this part, as well as this part here. Whoa. I'm going back down if I'm not mistaken. I don't know where I'm at right now. I don't even know where I'm at right now. Alright, let's that way. Seems weird to me. Should not be going that way. Alright. So I'm gonna do this and this. And I'm gonna just stick to that. Right there. Now I need to also do this. Because there are places that does not need. Actually, I'm going to do exactly what I said I would do. Ew. But to do that, I need it to be unlocked and at 100%. Yeah, this is fine. The only exception now is that I'm gonna remove that, and the exception now is that we're not Z H, right? We are not gonna use any of that. Because I just want the arm, really. So I don't want any of that. I'll just go for the arm right now, and later on I'll do the rest. Alright, now I'm going to the lows and shadows. Now I'm gonna pick that, do this, contiguous tolerance, say 100, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna reactivate that, and I'll do this. No. And I'll do this. Nope. Remove it first. now I'm gonna do this in the right one. Yeah. Again, I'm not needing anything that is not part of the hand. So I'm gonna just remove everything here that is not part of the hand. Now I can just do this. And again, just in the medium, just click on the other part. Yeah, the big problem with that is that it does not pick what it wants. It picks what it wants to pick, and I don't like that. So yeah, that method is bullshit. Don't know why I even tried it a second time. Sorry guys. We're gonna go for the lows and then for the high, but yeah. I hate black. Alright. I'm just gonna do this, then do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Haha. I'm gonna. Nope. That's way too big. Yeah. I'll go back to my first technique. It's gonna be fine. I just want the fucking hand to be done. And that's less. I don't want less, I want more. Like this, this, and then this. And then this. And now I can just do this. And I don't care if I go beyond, because I have something that will work it out afterward. Now they're all going to be the same because they're not touching each other. The goal is that if you go above one another, that's gonna happen. It's something that will happen. But you'll get me. You'll get what I mean when I'm done. So, alright. Now for the last part. Did it do it? Yeah, it did. Alright. So that's the dark part, the black part. Now we're gonna go for the medium part. And that means we need to go back here. Now we need this part, this part, this part, and this part. This, turn that here like this, this. Boom, that's it. We turn around that, boom. Right, now we're gonna add more because we need here. Alright, we need here. We need here. We need this part. We need this part. And we need this part. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Alright. So again, boom. Now there's one thing I did not do, so I'm just gonna go back here, remove this. Yeah, that's better. Now we're gonna do this. And yes, I know it's all identical right now. You'll see later. It should have a difference. Of course, again, we're working with black, and black is a hell. It's a nightmare. And now we need the lows. And the lower end is here. So we need this. And then this. Yeah, it's gonna need more than that. This is together. Alright. And the hand here is going to be all together like this, this. This, more than that here, and that's gonna be fine by me. That will be the low shadows. All right. Again, I will need to remove the part that's red. Let's say it's fine as it is now, so yeah, we're gonna do this. Alright. Now they're all identical because they're not above one each other, and that's the thing. So what we're gonna do right now is that we want the lows to stay low, but we want the lows to actually encompass the medium and the dark. And then what we need, we'll just disable everything else. What we need is, again, just do this. So now our low shadows encompasses everything. Now, again, we're gonna do this. We don't need the lows now. That's the thing. We need only the medium and the dark. Now we're not adding the shadow, the low part. And we're calling that medium. Now we need only the dark part. And we shadow it entirely, which was already done as is. So now, and again, because it's black, everything looks black, and it doesn't feels right. I'm way too close for comfort. Yeah. It's not working because it's black, so let's forget that. We're gonna do robe and everything. We're gonna do the robe. I hate working with black. This is a nightmare. Why do I do that to myself every time I'm making a character? You see, those are the parts where I just tap my head and I'm like, why did I do that? Right? Let's just get rid of everything in that place. Alright. Let's concentrate on something else, like let's do a face. Let's do our face. Knowing the shadows of our face, let's do a face. That should be much better and easier to follow. Alright, so let's go for the low first. And we need this color because it was the color we had before. So let's go for that. I will need that to be 100%, sir. So again, what we need is everything. So everything. And now we want to remove what we don't need, which is this part. This part, it does not need to be there. There is a small part here that does not need to be there. I think the nose here does not need to be there. There's a part in the lips here that does not need to be there. On the here, the ear, this part does not need to be there. Then again, I can't. Yeah. Alright. The bottom of the lips needs to be worked. This should be enough. So we know that the bottom of the lips is harder shadows. So since the lip will be here, down at the bottom, we need to put it about here. Right. So we're gonna work the low shadows until everything else, and the lip should be much shadows, but highlight. It needs to be highlighted, but yeah, we need shadows. When it comes to the eyes, yeah, when it comes to the eyes, everything here also is shadows. So yeah, shadows. We're gonna start with that. A bit of shadows here. Now everything under it here should be shadows. It's pretty much the entirety of the eye. So there's a bit of the eye here as well. That's pretty much that. Now we need white, or something close to white, because it's darker. But yeah, the other eye is pretty much the same thing. So yeah, here like this. This is entirely in shadows. Now usually our eyes would be open, but now it's closed. So what happens is that we can go like this, and that is shadowed. That is shadows. Under the eyelid, it is also shadowed. Technically, the eye itself here is also shadowed, but not entirely. Alright. So that's one way to do it. Now it needs to be more shadowed at certain point. So we're again going to do that, but in the medium range. And now we need that this is more shadowed. But here's the difference. It's not a big difference. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go for this and voluntarily add more. So now it would go with real definition. But this is way too high. So what we're gonna go right here, right now, is to go like this. Whoa. Yeah, that's gonna be that. And that. Whoa, I was supposed to be in the Alright. I'd like to work with black directly, which usually do something. But the thing is, it's not as good as it looks. So instead of multiply, I could go with black and then play with the opacity. But it's not as good as it should be. But that's what I'm gonna go, because I really need something. Somehow I lost my edge with the multiply and the likes. So yeah, I'm just going with black. I'll go in with pure black anyway, and just do what I need to do. So here it's gonna be, say, 25, which means the here is gonna be about 50, and here, no, it cannot be 100%, so it's gonna be about, say, 75. So let's try it. Let's see. This seems to work. Yeah, this seems to work. Or it's just gonna add more, but yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's gonna work. That's gonna be it. Alright. So I'll start with the actual lows of it, and then work our way to the shadows. No, yeah. We'll start from the lows and then go back to the entirety of the thing. Alright, so right now this part should be real dark. This part should be real dark as well, because it's under. But here's the catch. The eye here should not be all that dark, because it's alright, so here, same for the eye here, should be a bit darker under it, because the eye is a bit lower than the rest. So let's go for that. I want a bit of it here and still a bit here. I kind of want it to be like this here, but just the basics. This is from the lows and everything. Now the medium part, we still need to go about here, because this is going to be real dark, because it's under the brows. And the eye itself is still going to be real dark here, but not entirely real dark, like just a bit of it, like this. What's fun with playing with darkness like this is that I can just go everywhere. So now technically the eye is also gonna be dark, but not entirely. Like say I do this, I know that there's a few points in the eye where darkness still is, like this. This part here, and then this part here, and this one here. And see, the eye is already down a bit. I'm just gonna go and redo this because I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now. Alright. Let's go work with the shadows, with the darker shadows. Alright, so here, like this, it needs this, all that, like this, and that. Alright, here, all that, all this part here, this part there, this part there, this part, that part. There you go. That's gonna be all the dark part we need. But then again, that eye is closed when it should be open. So yeah, that's why it does not work real well. And for my part, this part is also down in shadows. This part should be down in shadows as well. Alright. I'm going to erase a bit of it here. That does not fit the eye that is closed, because the eye that is closed would be reflecting a bit more because it's higher. Alright, now if we go back here, the first thing we're gonna do is take these and recolor them again in the medium. And then in the lows, because they're in the low, they're the darkest that can get. So now we can do this, and then this, and every time we're adding more. So that's fine with me. Now let's do the shadows, the other shadows. Now we can just go here in med and just do the meds, which is this, this. It's a bit harder to say, to tell what is the rest, but yeah. I just want to know. Yeah, I'm in the mouth right there. That's not something I want to touch right now. That's still already better. Oh, I'm in erase mode and that's not what I want. Alright, so here we have that. And that's the medium one, the medium range, so that's gonna be something. Right, again. There's a lot more to be done here, but you know what it is. It takes time to do stuff. That's the stuff about drawing, you need time. And time is something that people have not necessarily in spades. There you go. If I just remove that, this is already starting to become something better. Of course, we need to take into account the horns and the likes. Again, the horns are a bit easier to do because they're not entirely dark and black, but yeah. I have a friend who does more than that. Let's take a look. Let's do it the way we think it should be done. I'll just do basic shadows at this point. So yeah. We're gonna start with the dark areas and just do basics of it. So then I know that this part should be black or dark, real dark. And it includes that part of the eye. It includes also a small part of the eye here, because it's under the lid. So this is added. And it is just like that, because the eye is not, that eye is closed. Though that means this part, since it's closed, will be dark, because it's closed. But maybe not all that dark. So let's remove a bit of it, because it shouldn't be that dark. Yeah, that part should not be that dark. Yeah, so let's go for the eyes, and this is it. So now we're gonna take that and just draw it in the meds as well, and in the shadows, in the light shadows. Now we can just go to the medium shadows, which will be here, here, here under the eye, a bit here. I know it looks weird right now, because yeah, why not? Now we need to also take this and this is also gonna be in the low. The medium are also gonna be in the low. Now we can do the lows. A really small part of that one here. All right. Now the nose will be weird, but yeah, just to show you an example, here I'm usually going to go for some Gaussian blur, and usually about 5 pixels would be enough, and then going back here doing the same, and then in the light doing the same. There you go. That would be the kind of shadows that it would do. Now there's a lot of details that is lost, but many details that will be gained from that. The blurring is important because that's what makes it into the picture. But as you can see, it's a bit wrong. And if we go like this, it's way too dark. So yeah, way too dark. So my opacities are not correct. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna play with the opacities. And that's what's fun about it. If 75 is too much, we could go for 50. And the 50 that we have here could become, say, 35. And here it could become 20, which gives us 15% difference for each side. And already this is much better. Yeah, this is much better. So right now what we're gonna do, now that when we know it works, I'm just going to, whoa. I'm going to step forward a bit. Because I've gone too far. Okay, now that's not what I want. Alright. So the dark are now 50. Oh, whoa. Whoa. That's not what I want. Yeah, it's the blur that I want gone. Just the blur that I want gone. The rest, fine with it. Alright, so let's go again. So 50 here. 35 here. And then 20 here. Now we still have details. We're not going entirely black, but we still have details, and it's fun for what it is. So yeah. Now there's something that I missed, and that's she's supposed to have some makeup, and for that I will need my shadows and highlights to see what's done. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna work on the horns right here, and we're gonna start with the darkness, the dark shadows, and for that I also need to just work on that one. Alright, so the darks are gonna be here. Then again, depends on the light. The light is shining from the top middle. Yeah, the light is shining from the top and middle. So so this part would be entirely black. This part would be blacker. This part would be blacker, like this. Since it's going this way, this one would be here, like this. Alright, so again, we need this part here, and this part here to be appearing in the mid and the low. Alright, so now we can go here and we can create the other part from the mid. And it doesn't matter if I'm going all the way down here, because it doesn't matter, I can just remove it as much as I want. So now we have that as well, but right now I'm just gonna erase everything that I've done outside. Alright, I'm gonna do this, and that. That, adding this. Only take the med. And again, we're just doing the lows, and as you can see, I'm going to the meds as well. Alright, so that's done. Now this part would be darker as well, because the air is below the horns. So this part would be darker as well. Like a bit much darker. Alright. Now, where the hair is, this part would also be darker, because the hair is there. And under the hair here, you'd see a bit of that darkness as well. So we're gonna do just that here, like this. And then still the lows, like this. Now the horn here, this would be like that. Still the hair again, like this. Under it here, the hair could go this way, down like this. Again, I'm going to add more shadows, because it needs to appear in the lows and everything. It needs to appear in. The goal is that it just blends all together. Yeah, like this. So here, the meds. You can go back to the meds and just add a bit more of that here, like that, and then here, and then that. Here. We really don't need really more than that for the hair. That's pretty much that. Now is the nose. And for the nose, I really need highlights. But I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this one here. Because I really want to know my shit. Right, the nose, okay. So the nose right now, what we know, literally, is that the nose is gonna be here, so this is gonna be dark, so this is gonna be dark, and this is gonna be dark. There's a small patch of darkness here, and that's that. So we're gonna do the same thing here because it's supposed to be dark. So we're gonna do the same thing in the tree shadows. Just do that. And here. Now we're gonna go for the meds. And the meds would be like this. Around the nose here. There's also this place here for this. I'm just going to go for a bit, just like this, and then like this, here like that. This is going up like this, and then that. Just going to do a bunch of it because we're not doing the the mouth still, but that's about that. Now if we go to the low, there's a small part here and a small part here that goes here, and this part goes all the way here, in fact. I don't know if I really want to go that far. Now, I don't know if this is going to show something. If we remove this, doesn't look like much right now, but I'm willing to bet something. If I do this, and then that, and then that, yeah, it's kind of there. Yeah, the nose is kind of there. Yeah, it's kind of already better this way. Now with the highlights, it's gonna be much better. Now we have a nose. People, we have a nose. But there is one thing I will do. There's one thing I will do. Usually I don't like doing that, but I do not like doing that, but yeah, I'll do it. But I really do not like doing what I'm about to do. So we're gonna go in black and just add something to the sketch. So right now, the nose would be around here. But it would not be like that, it would be more like this. Same here, it would be more like this. Alright, now we'd have this. No, we'd have, I don't know, I'm stuck. I'm just stuck. So what we'd have, going back to the sketch, so we'd have the nose is here, so we'd have that, and then that, which shows our nose. This is where it would be. This is where this part would be. This is where this part would be. So now if I just remove that, I know about where my nose is. Yeah, that looks like it, right. That looks right. Yeah, that looks right. So if I remove that, I now know that this part is highlighted. This part is under the nose is kind of highlighted. I would need entirely black, so let's go for it. Here, there would be a hole. Here, there would be a hole. I really hate doing what I'm doing right now, but sometimes it is necessary. But sometimes it is necessary. Alright, now I would need the lip, the base of the lip. I think the base of the lip would be around here. But not like that. So the base of the lip would be around here, like this. It would become smaller and smaller as we go near the edge. Like this. Like this. Now the other one would be here, and it is smaller than the rest, but it would start here and it would do this, and it would do this. So again, like that, and then do this. Right. I hate doing this. I really hate doing this. But right now it's almost necessary because I want to do my shadows right, and it's just necessary. Alright. So now we can go back up a bit. I said a bit, not a ton. Alright. So here there would be shadows because it's under the lips. So there would be shadows here. Now here would be shadows as well. I do not like that, because I've gone way too far within the place. I've never had problem with shadows like this before. I'm usually just knowing where I'm going, but right now I think my doll is, even though it's fine, I think my doll is giving me errors. I think my doll is giving me errors. Which sucks. Alright. I'm gonna erase some of it. It's in fact just the meds that just sucks. Like, I'll erase the meds here. In fact, I'll just erase the whole nose. Here, here, I'll erase all that part from everything. That nose looks ridiculous. I really don't like it. That nose looks ridiculous. And this is why I hate doing... This is why I hate doing this. Alright, so we're gonna go like this. Yeah. And this part is gonna be different, because I hate that. Alright, so she'd have a pointy, she'd have a more pointy nose. So, like this. She would have a less pronounced nose, in fact. here's the catch. Her nose is way too big for what I intended. So it would be like this. That's much better for it. Now, she would have a hole here and a hole here. Now, that's too much. The hole would be here, and the hole would be here. Yeah, that would be much better. Her mouth is way too big, but yeah. I love that she has this wicked smile. Now that we have both of that, we can go for the shadows again. I'll be going with 5. So here, well, in fact, I'd be going with the lows. So yeah, this is definitely in shadows, and the lows would go all the way like this. Then it would just a bit more like this and then fall back there. This would be that shadow. Of course, that lips also go into it. So, yeah, it would be like this. Yeah, like this. Now, the same would apply here. The shadows would go here, and there would be a bit of shadow here. But since it's going for the top, the shadow would be here, at the bottom of the lip. There would be a shadow here at the bottom of the lip. And that same shadow would also go all the way around the mouth here, because the mouth is a bit different, is on the other side of the thing. Alright, now if we go to medium again, where would the medium be? Well, the medium would definitely be here. The medium would definitely be here. It would definitely be here. Yeah, it would definitely be here. Like this. It would definitely be here around the corner of the mouth. Same here. It would definitely be there. It would definitely be here along this ridge. And yeah, true, the mouth itself would definitely be in shadows, purely in shadows, except a part of the teeth. of the teeth. Nope, wrong thing. Okay, I was going over the lips right here, and I let myself get away. Alright, so this definitely would be in shadows because this is inside her mouth. Yeah! Yeah! My mouse decided to just jerk off. Alright. Just in case it happened again, I'll just do this. Alright. Now we're gonna go dark as well here. Because it's in the mouth, it needs to be dark. I really wish we could finish this drawing today, but I don't think it will happen. Right. I've taken way too much time doing all of this. Right. So, first of all, I'm doing those shadows. Alright, now I'm gonna erase some of the teeth because the teeth are importantly. Alright, so the teeth here definitely needs to be cleaned off like this, and they definitely need to be not going all the way, like this, and then this, and then this. Alright, now again we're gonna remove a bit here, here, and here, again here, and here, and here, and here, like just the necessary bits that are showing. Alright, so the dark part, yeah, the dark part. So we're just showing the teeth, the part of the teeth that should be showing, the white. This is what we want to see. And then we just need to put back the shadows into the red below. Alright. Now there is something else that we could do that I did not do in the color base. That would be coloring the teeth. The red of the teeth, the gum. There should be red for the gum of the teeth, like this. But then again, it should not be red, that red. It should be like a more basic red, like this. And it's way too big, so I'm going with a 3 pixel. I'll be going with a 3 pixel, and that would be much better. And that's the gum. Here's the gum, and now we need to put some more gums here, going from the teeth like this, like this, like this, and like this. Yeah. So the gum of the teeth is there. And the teeth itself looks much better right now, though it doesn't look like a big smile. It looks like honestly, that's really not the best mouth I ever done. For her, that's not the greatest. She looks way too whack. This is the worst drawing I've ever done up to this point, and this makes me laugh so much. This is the worst drawing I've done up to this point. It's ridiculous. Alright, let's go back to the to what the real thing is, which is shadows. Alright, now the shadows should be fine as is, but at the same time new. Alright, so I'll add more shadows. Like here, this black line needs to be shadowed. Because, yeah, shadow. This black line also needs to be shadowed, because black line. That's what black lines are. Those people who think otherwise, yeah, you have a problem. That's what those black lines are. They're supposed to be shadows. Like really dark shadows. Alright. Going back there. Now we need the nose. We need to know that the nose, that there is shadows here, shadows here, shadows here, like here, shadows here, under, like shadows here, under, and that's it. Now shadows would be a bit bigger here, obviously, and a bit bigger here, obviously again. Alright. That would be that. Now here, this would be like this. This would be like this. Now here we'd have the downward thing, and it would round off like this. Alright. Now the nose would be going all the way up here, like this. Alright. Now medium shadows would be here. And probably around here as well, like this. It would definitely have a bit around the nose like this, but it would also need some regular shadows as well. Complement that. Alright. That pretty much what the nose would look like when it comes to shadows. Mouth is there. The finger about to go there. This is not the best thing in the world. This is the worst drawing I've ever done, right up to this point. It's really not at all what I was expecting when I started. Now this mouth is ugly. This is one ugly mouth. On that character, that's one ugly mouth. Alright, let's go give some more depth to the rest of the character. Let's not finish that thing. I just want to go for everything else right now. Just do the basics, have something done. Now here, where the neck is, we definitely would be having... I'm gonna check to make sure, but yeah, we definitely have something here. Like this. This would definitely be a part of it. Drew at the wrong place. Definitely would have this part of it. So yeah, this part would be in shadows. There would be more than that, but yeah, this part would be in shadows, and this would be harsher shadows, the deep shadows. Yeah, this would be deep shadows right there. So again, we're gonna make them deep shadows. But this is weird. Because, yeah, this is weird because I definitely would think there would be a shadow around here, but from my drawing there is none. Like here, this would be medium. This place would be medium shadows. That finger would definitely be dark shadows. Alright. Here like this. Here like that. This would definitely be medium, like this, and that. This would be most likely like medium. And that's the thing, I mean, I don't really understand, and there's this point and this point that I don't even understand why they are that dark, that black. I think my model does not work. I mean, I think the model lighting is maybe screwed up, or I took the wrong lighting somewhere. Yeah, that would be that for now. Yeah, that lighting really is screwed up. It screws me up right now. You know what? I have so many trouble with this one. I think I'll stop there. Take the time to maybe clean it up, see what I need more, and then probably that Wednesday, on the last Wednesday, I'll just stop that and be done with it. This is something I like to do, and this is something I want to do. So what may happen is that, yeah, what just may happen is that we'll finish this Wednesday. I'll clean it up, try to do something tomorrow with it after my D&D game. Try to clean it up a bit, and Wednesday we'll finish this one. And what we'll do is I'm gonna clean it up and we'll try to finish it. I'll try to make my own lighting. I'll try to make my own lighting and not follow the one from the file that I have, because actually right now I think I took the wrong picture of it and I did not save it. So I think the shadows and the things like that are messing me up somehow. This is literally the worst drawing I've ever done. I'll show you. I'll compare it. I'll show you what I've done. And this is one of the worst drawings that I have done up to this point. So I'll give you some comparison. Just give me a sec. So here's the drawing. I'll just remove that. But here's the drawing right now. And I'll put it with something else that I've done that is done from my collection. Let's say this. I really like this one. So yeah, we have that. And we have this one. Look at the difference. This one is amazing. I dislike the fact I really need to redo that bag though. It's cool for a jade bag, but it needs to have more in it, like something to make more. I did it fast. It was the last thing I did. But look at the difference. Look at the difference. This is the worst I've done. This is one of the... This is not even one of the best. This is just someone that I've done. This is one I've done, and this is one of the worst I've done up to this point. I'll show you another one as well. Like this one. This one is also not my best, because the eye are all screwed up, they're messed up, but it does work. And this one I did not do with the pose I created on my own, so members may be wrong, but this is another one. The best one I've ever done, if you ask me, I'll show you this one as well, because I really like that one. That's one of the better that I've done. This is one of the better that I've done. And again, the tail needs to be redone, but it was the last thing I've done. But yeah, all shadows and everything have been done by myself, and it was one of the best that I've done. But if you want to see the best that I've done, the really best that I've done, it would be this one. This creature, this mimic, is probably the best that I've done up to this point. I really, really like it. Of course, proportions are off. Like, look at the crystals, you can see the proportions are off and everything, but still, that's one of the better that I've done. The one thing I really don't like this one. It's something that does not feel right to me. Yeah, I'll have to clean it up. Really need to clean it up. Clean it up. And I need to find better mouths for that. I think we'll redo the mouth, redo the nose, try to find something that fits it. And definitely the shadows needs to be redone above the eyes and everything, because they're way too black right now. Yeah. So that's where we are now, and honestly, I'm just trying to work with that one. Really, I really hope that it would be finished for tomorrow. That in 2 days we'd have enough, so I could show it to my players what she really looks like. But yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. But I'll clean it up, and Wednesday we'll see where we're at. So thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to me or watching me draw or do the stupid thing and just pass 2 hours trying to figure out how to do shadows. That was stupid of me. I literally just forgot how to do shadows. That sucked. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you want to see my gaming channel, it's over there. Mind you, it's in French. If you want to talk to me, there's my Twitter account right there. You can just talk to me there and I'll answer when I can. You can tip me here at streamelements.com/dndbasement/tip. You can tip me if you want to pay me something to drink. I'd be happy to. And if you want to see our D&D stream in French, it's over there, and the D&D basement. This is also where these videos are shown. If you want to know what's in English and what's in French, you'll see the EN in front of it, which means English, and FR for French. So that's about it. Thanks for coming. It was a pleasure, and we'll finish this Wednesday. So, see ya!